So my name is Larry Meed. I got into boating at a very young age because I was a bit of a fisherman, and the idea was that I could get closer to the fish if I was out in a boat. So I started by building, a raft, and then we got into playing with canoes, and bit by bit got into larger boats, and eventually into sailboats, and now off cruising the way we are now.
My name's Juanita Meade. I got into sailboating because when I started working, I worked up by Georgian Bay, Penetanguishene, and over top of my microscope there were these sailboats cruising by, and I thought, how lovely will that be? So that's kind of how I checked into getting on the water.
At one point in the late 80s and early 90s, I looked at buying a charter boat. I just thought the whole idea of being able to get paid for fishing was a whole lot of fun. But I also realized that I was going to need a little bit more knowledge in order to take this on and do it safely. And that was sort of one of the reasons I got into CPS, was to learn more about the navigation and safety and operations of a vessel itself. The courses that I took through CPS were the boating course. I took that early on. A little while later, I took a piloting course. Then I took the advanced piloting and right on up to celestial navigation. Other courses included weather, obviously the VHF course, and the GPS course after that. And I also studied and became a registered examiner for the VHF license for Industry Canada.
I joined CPS after having done a few cruises up on Georgian Bay. Obviously was looking at charts and whatnot, so my partner and at the time, we took courses down at Frenchman's Bay to learn more about navigation. At that time the course was quite lengthy, but since then I've taken the weather course, including the global weather course, and then the VHF course. Then I had to upgrade that because they now include the DSC portion of the VHF. Most people who take it now will take the combined course. And the GPS course, electronic navigation, took that one, and also got involved with the extended cruising course. And continued on from there.
My biggest adventure, I think, in sailing and boating was actually the years that I spent as a liveaboard. There's lots of little trips you can do around the Great Lakes. I've done a little bit of eastern seaboard traveling and stuff like that. But the greatest time, the biggest adventure and era was the 8.5 years that I lived aboard a sailboat. I was able to come and go every single day and just sort of live the life, live the dream, as they say, and just sort of enjoyed life and just do something different for a while.
Even the winters.
Even the winters.
Feeding the birds dog food and having them skitter across the ice. That was always fun to watch. My greatest adventure, I think, with all the other ones, was the year-long trip that organized and took about 3.5 years to get the boat ready, and actually it wasn't finished by the time we left. But it was a year-long trip. We took out the St. Lawrence to Newfoundland, over to the Azores, down to the Canary Islands, into West Africa, across to Brazil, and then up the coast, South American coast, up to the Caribbean. And that was, felt confident enough in the boat, the Albert 37, and confident in our navigational skills. What we've taken, the experience that we had on Lake Ontario and the experience that we got with CPS.
More of the same. We've already sailed down the St. Lawrence, and we've spent 2 summers in Atlantic Canada now. We have some more exploring we want to do around the coast of Newfoundland, so we'll do that, go back to Cape Breton for one more winter. And I believe our loose plan now is to start heading south at this point and head down toward warmer waters They say just turn south and stop where the butter melts, so we'll do that.